Good morning. I am Tracy Spence with your newscast. This newscast is brought to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join the living. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 9:30 a.m., on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. Now for the news in details. President of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association JHTA, Clifton Reeder, has described as unfortunate the decision by Canada's four main airlines to suspend service to the Caribbean and Mexico over concerns about the spread of COVID-19, in particular the fast-spreading variant strains. The service, which has been suspended until April 2021, has dealt a major blow to Jamaica's already struggling tourism industry. Despite the likely negative consequences for Jamaica, Reeder argued that no one can fault a government for doing what it feels is necessary to protect its citizens from what has proven to be a deadly virus. Reeder noted that although Canada has had reduced movement across its borders for several months due to the ongoing pandemic, the JHTA had hoped that with the approval of several vaccines, they would begin to see a reduction in travel restrictions and the opening up of borders. Of note is that more than 75% of visitors to Jamaica come from the United States, and a similar decision on the U.S. side to the one taken by the Canadian authorities would have a devastating consequence for the local tourism sector. Jamaica's Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, is now better able to trade licensed guns and ammunition after acquiring specialized equipment. Two gun marking machines valued at $9,000 have been acquired with funding from the Inter-American Development Bank. Minister of National Security Dr. Harris Chang, while touring the FLA Kingston's office early last week, said this was a critical component of the national security strategy. The National Security Minister says proposed amendments to the Firearms Act should be completed by March. According to Chang, the revised legislation aimed at tackling gun crimes is critical, as 80% of homicides in Jamaica are committed with firearms. He explained that the amendments will streamline the regulation of legal arms trade and the functions and activities of the Firearm Licensing Authority. Meanwhile, the Offices of Utilities Regulation OUR has rejected a proposal from the Jamaica Public Service Company JPS, which would have reduced the amount of electricity Jamaicans could use before paying a higher price. The JPS currently charges customers a lower rate per kilowatt hour for the first 100 kilowatt hour, but the company had proposed a reduction of the upper limit for residential customers from 100 kilowatt hours to 50 kilowatt hours. This would have resulted in customers being charged a higher price after using only 50 kilowatt hours. The OUR said it felt that given the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, a larger percentage of households would fall into the vulnerable income category. It said the timing of the change might be ill-advised and therefore the current fee structure should be retained. Finally, in sports this morning, the Kingston and St. Andrew Football Association, CASAFA, has decided not to go the drastic route of requesting the resignation of the entire board of the Jamaica Football Federation, JFF, as requested by its member Bull Bay FC. Bull Bay, in a January 10 letter, asked CASAFA to convene a special general meeting, SGM, requesting the resignation of the Michael Ricketts-led administration over what it called the incompetence of local football's governing body. But CASAFA's General Secretary, Dwayne Dillon, said a different decision was taken at Friday's SGM. Dillon also said CASAFA, which is perhaps the most influential association in local football, thought it would not be wise to have a major disruption in the JFF ahead of what would be a crucial year for Jamaica's football. Dillon said they did have over the minimum number of 18 clubs present at Friday's virtual meeting to constitute a quorum. And that is it for the news. This newscast came to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join the living. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, a key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 9:30 a.m., on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. On behalf of the news and production team, I am Tracy Spence. Do have a good morning.